It's September 9th, 2021, and welcome to episode 63 of the Baby Metal Podcast. We gather in the podcast Discord server on alternate weeks to discuss news and thoughts on the past and future projects of Baby Metal. We invite you to join us, whether you're a longtime fan or have only just arrived. I am Paul, and I am joined by Kevin.
Merchandising.
And Maggie.
Will you buy my wares?
I always appreciate a Spaceballs reference. But I think, what was it, the Spaceballs, the flamethrower is the highlight.
Spaceballs, the bedsheet.
I've only seen the movie once, but it was pretty funny, so I'm willing to watch it again because I don't remember that reference.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
I know it is. It was pretty flippin' hilarious.
Spaceballs, the breakfast cereal.
Yep. I actually got to see it, like a sneak preview of it, like before it was released in theaters. I got a one from a radio station, tickets to see it in advance.
That's actually kind of cool. That is really cool.
That's awesome, but oh man, did you just date yourself?
I know.
Yep. There were radio stations. People listened to them. They didn't stream.
Hey, I still listen to the radio stations too. They still exist.
In fact, actually, my house had several landlines, and I had like several phones set up that I would call on all of them in order to win these things.
Wait, what?
Because you would call, and you'd have to be like caller number 9, and so I'd be like call number 2, and then 7, and then I'd win.
Yeah, but wouldn't they all come out the same like line, like the same phone number?
No, back in the day, you could have multiple phone numbers per house.
Yep.
Really?
I remember being a cool kid on the block because I had my own phone number in my own room.
I didn't know. Maybe it's just because I lived out in the country. I only have one phone number.
Oh,
and
maybe.
I still have that phone number to this day, actually. Or my parents do, but
It was way more common when you had to dial a phone number to get on the internet, because then you could dial and be on the internet and still get phone calls if you had 2 lines.
Well, they had this thing. I know we're getting off topic, but they had this thing because my father would get called out for work and things. So if we had to be on the internet, they had the little, what was it called? Like answering machine for the internet to let you know if phone calls were coming in. And then you had to get off the internet. They left a message. And then you had to call in and all that sort. It was a pain.
Yep.
So my memories of the internet were not very fond because I lived out in the country, but I live in the city now with fast internet. This is great.
Excellent. Yep.
Maggie in the city.
Let's see. So there are a couple of things that we will talk about this time. There's actually kind of a ton of news, and so I think we're mainly going to talk about that. Kevin and I just got back from doing the DragonCon panel, and we're going to put that on the feed at some point in the future, and then we'll talk about stuff relating to that probably after that. So next time we record an episode, probably.
And how sad I was that I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I know.
Though it sounds like it could happen again, so maybe block off your Labor Day weekend next year.
I may have to, but also I found out that that's my boss's birthday, so it's like...
Oh, bring your boss.
And he might actually enjoy that. I don't know. He might. Now I consider that. He's a little bit of a closet nerd, so maybe. We'll see.
Well, we can get him out of the closet.
Yep.
That'd be fun, actually.
Yeah, no, I think it went well. It was fun. We'll talk about it more later. But it is worth saying that the attendance was better than we'd expected. I mean,
By a factor.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. I really am.
There was a line, and as we were going in, someone grumped at AJ about there's a line,
Wow.
Of course.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Okay, but we'll get to that later. I don't have these in any particular order, but it's been quite a while since we recorded, and so there's been when I was putting together this list of like stuff that's happened, it turns out there's a lot. So I think we have not yet talked about the fact that maybe we alluded to it, but it was announced that BABYMETAL has announced a book. So, and the title is not super clear. It's something like, I love you like steel, metal, life is 90% solved by metal.
I want it to be a self-help book.
Yeah, well, so I mean, we've actually read half of it already, because it's basically a collection of essays, including the things that were in Da Vinci News, which we haven't talked about here, but there's something like 16 of them, I think, that were on Da Vinci News. So it'll be released Wednesday, September 29th, like everything else. Published by Katakawa, 1540 yen, so not super expensive. And we have to talk about the merch. I mean, like the main reason I even wanted to put this in is that there's a couple of bundles that you can get, T-shirts that you can get, the actual BABYMETAL shirts.
For all the Koba fans out there.
But what did you think of the flip-up tee?
The shirts are hilarious. I love it.
I mean, I've never seen a shirt like that before. I think I've seen, well, maybe once, but I don't remember what it was for. But
describe it for the audience.
It's okay. So it's a shirt. It's a regular T-shirt that has like regular printing on the outside, and it actually has like Koba's like skull face on it, and it says BABYMETAL on the upside. But what happens is if you grab the edge of the T-shirt and then pull it up like over your head, but not taking it off, but like up and over your head, on the underside, like obviously it's going to be upside down printed on the inside, but when you pull it up over your face, it has another face printed on it. And it's just like it baffles me.
That's so silly. I love it.
It's well, it's just like it's Koba.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, it's just like, I guess there are people who are kind of fans of his genius and things and would probably appreciate it, but it's like it's Koba.
But it's I mean, it's a very funny joke. It seems to me. I mean, like, it's probably more fitting that it's a Koba shirt than anyone else's shirt.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. True. I mean, if it was one for the girls, it'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
That'd be a little weird.
Yeah. I suppose it could be like a fox mask or something, but anyway.
Well, yeah.
I think it's pretty excellent. I mean,
not on my list of things to get. Sorry.
It's just looking again at that photo, it's just absurd.
Oh, I guess the face isn't on the outside. It's only on the inside. Okay.
Yeah.
There are a couple of sort of like standard shirts as well. That one of them I think does have the face on the outside.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think there was a couple other versions, yeah.
But anyway, I think the Da Vinci News essays were interesting. So I'm anticipating this book being pretty interesting to read. Just little nuggets of what makes things metal, what makes metal metal. So
from the eyes of a dude who's been in the scene for a hot minute.
Yeah, all of his content I think is always really interesting.
Mm-hmm. He seems like a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, well he does, and he has a weird way of kind of going about explaining his rationale and his thoughts behind, life and music in general. Mm-hmm. But everything we've gotten from him has always been very interesting.
I agree. I mean, it's enjoyable. Like, it'd be kind of cool to actually just like get him to a bar, sit him down, have a few drinks and talk. Like, seriously. Yeah, I mean, if I spoke Japanese, but which I am not fluent in, but still, if that was the case, like that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Moa would be a good one too. Anyway, besides point.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So the book's coming out pretty soon, actually. It's probably going to take a while for us non-Japanese speakers to be able to read it, but we can try to muddle through with Google Translate on our phone, but that's not going to go very well, I suspect.
Mm-mm.
So, and actually, sort of connected to this book, maybe this is the time to mention this too. So there was this exhibition, right, an HMV museum. This is underway now. There was, I think, a Tokyo edition, and then Osaka maybe was the other one.
Yes.
Osaka, yeah.
Yeah, it's Osaka.
Yeah, and I think the Tokyo one's underway right now. But so we saw a couple of photos of what it looks like. It's mainly the inside of the exhibition is not photographed because that's not allowed. But there's a little, there's kind of like a photo of some part of it, and you can see sort of the some of the costume displays and big sort of museum type panels along the wall. Yeah. And they actually had a little something like a gift shop or something, like at the edge they had a little display of the merch that you could get, and that included some of the stuff that we'll talk about later. So maybe we'll come back to that. But
well, the bucket. We've talked about the bucket before.
Yeah, right. There was an example of the bucket. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm going to buy $100 Japan pail, but it is much bigger than I expected it to be.
Yeah. And yeah, so there was a question and answer though that was the thing I was thinking about in relation to the book. So Koba Metal appeared and did a little Q&A with some people at one of these events, and one of the things that he said about the book, which was kind of interesting, was that he's actually not, even though it's like his book about the influence of metal and the rationale of metal and effect of metal and all that stuff. It's written by him, but he said that he's going to take the proceeds of it and not keep it. He's going to sort of plow any proceeds from that book back into the project.
Yeah,
which is pretty interesting and led to a weird tangent in a lot of people's minds. But
yeah,
I think it is pretty cool that like you can consider yourself to be still sort of supporting this project, even though it's not just him trying to capitalize off this project, even though it would be fair if he did. But
right,
yeah, it's like the RockMecon stream. All the proceeds from that went to the band to pay for people who can't work live concerts and things and tour anymore.
And then some of it also went to the RockMecon, so
right,
that too.
The venue, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that was like most of the reason why I was in there. And then they kind of added the like, oh, hey, we're not touring. Here's the other stuff too.
Right.
But yeah, that was, now the thing is that he wrote, his book. And then there's also the 10 Baby Metal Legends book.
Mm-hmm.
Was he saying about the proceeds on his actual book or the 10 Baby Metal Legends book? Because that's where I'm confused.
I thought that it was about this metal book, not about the Legends one.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, actually, I would have thought that the Legends one, that was sort of assumed that was the profit of that would go to Baby Metal, because it's.
Okay.
It's
well,
under
fair
that.
enough. You got a point. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I should say I don't know for sure. That's just it.
Well, it makes
seems like it makes sense.
though.
Yeah.
Right. That does make sense. Okay. Which, by the way, well, that would be the next topic, is that the 10 Baby Metal Legends books.
Oh yeah. They arrived. Did it? Who else got them?
I have not.
Oh, that's right.
I did not order one.
Okay, and Kevin's ears are in
Tenso,
yeah. Well, so I got it just in time actually to bring it with me to Dragon Con, although we didn't really have a chance to look at it. It is probably 2/3 just like Japanese text, and then at the end there's sort of like some photographs and like data and things like that. But it seems like most of the photos are recording the epic shows. So they're not really of people so much as they are of stage designs and that sort of thing.
Oh.
So.
That sounds kind of neat, though.
Yeah, I like it. It's interesting, but it's going to take a while before we can read it.
Right.
I did try the phone Google Translate, and it gave me some pretty weird results.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing the rest of that one. I thought the photos were pretty nice. I will say that because it's a pretty cheap book in the scheme of things, the print quality of the photos isn't very good. Mm-hmm. Not as good as you're going to get in a photo book, attached to a Blu-ray set or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But certainly serviceable. Definitely some things I haven't seen before from the photo section. Mm-hmm. And like you said, the phone translate didn't yield very interesting results, but between that and a little bit I can read around that, I think it's going to be a really interesting read when it gets in the hands of translators and into the thoughtosphere of the group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does seem like it's written. It's definitely written in his voice, So it's conceivable that it's Koba Metal's voice, So even the voice is somewhat of a persona, but
yes.
Not Kobayashi, but Koba.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's so it really is. It's a little bit like his, to the extent that I can to the extent that I'm right about what I thought I was reading through my phone, it seems a little bit like his journey through these. Like what he was thinking, what happened, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this also came in a bunch of different covers. So there were like four different store covers you could get, which we talked through before. It turns out hilariously that essentially they're all like covers over covers. So the way this comes, there's a book with paper covers. Around it, all of them have sort of like a slip cover, and then they actually have also like this little 2.5-inch band. And then if you got the store covers, then there's yet another cover that goes over all that stuff. So,
of course,
yeah,
and collectors.
And the photos for the covers are actually in the book too. So even if you didn't get the special cover, you do have the photo inside the book.
That's cool, though.
Right.
Okay. Is that enough on the book? Maybe.
Yeah. Well, that kind of will also lead into another thing where I think they're having not only just the HMV museums, but apparently they're having another exhibit some point in time at the end of the month. And I can't remember where, but they're actually going to have like the actual stage setup or something close to the stage setup for Budokan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to like talk about the performance and stuff like that. So,
I thought that was at the HMV museum.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's something completely separate because I don't think they've announced exactly where it's going to be at. I think it's like one of those to be announced things. But it was one of the 10 Baby Metal Year announced like sections, the missing ones, which by the way, now is all completely filled at this time if you people are playing the 10 Baby Metal Years at home game.
No open spots.
It is completely filled now. Yeah, there are no open spots anymore. But yeah, that was the last one, was that exhibit of the actual stage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there was they announced this in paired up with an announcement of live viewings, but the exhibition is September 28th to October 10th, somewhere in the Shibuya area.
Okay.
But yeah, they're going to recreate the Budokan stage.
Oh, that would be really cool, to be honest.
Yeah. Maybe you can channel Sue and get stranded on an outer ring. Maybe you can stand on the little bridge and spear people. Anyway, yeah, no, it seems like it would be pretty interesting, and it's going to be pretty soon. So I hope that we get some photos of that. I mean, that's, with both of these exhibitions, there is a chance that we won't see them,
Yeah. It makes me really sad because the HMV ones have their Budokan outfits, and I am so sad about that I cannot see them because one of the more, I guess you could say he's a little bit more prominent in the fandom. One of the Japanese fans, he did actually go to the museum, and he was commenting on the actual outfits themselves. He's like, they had to use like multiple different types of materials for all this. Like, this is crazy. And I'm just like, is there pictures? And it's like, no, they can't take pictures in the inside of the museum. And I'm like, oh, the costumer in me is just so sad.
Yes.
It makes me so upset. I'm like, because like all the other like prior like quote museums that they've had for Baby Metal stuff, like the last one I remember is Legend S. They actually had Sue's outfit on display, and people were taking pictures of like different angles and stuff of it. And of course, people were like retweeting me like, hey, we know you like this. And so just like, yes, but can't do it this time. And it's just, it hurts my soul. It hurts me so much that I can't like see the absolute detail up close.
Yeah.
Sorry. I had to go on my rant.
Yeah, I think that previous one may have been just in a store, so it was sort of like in a public area.
Mm-hmm.
So no
actually, I think
fee.
it was at Tower. I think it was at Tower Records, actually, not HMV.
That sounds.
I think you're
plausible.
right. I'm pretty sure the last time it was costumes on display was Tower.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Anyway, yeah. Hopefully, someone will sneak a photo out, but who knows?
Do it for me.
So the other thing that they announced was the live viewings. So they're going to play the 5 show pairs over 5 days from October 1st to 5th in 30 theaters across Japan, and that was the last of the filled slots on the the 10 Baby Metal years map.
Mm-hmm. It's coming up.
Yeah. So a lot of these things require you to already be in Japan. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well.
okay, so we also have things, like further things to buy, which were pretty hilarious. Another thing that's happened since we recorded last was the collaboration with Coleman Japan.
Yeah,
So-
that was a little came out of left field.
Mhm. So this is BMD Fox Apparel, but that's essentially a subsidiary.
Mm-hmm. Which they still haven't fixed their logo on their website yet, which still makes me upset, but whatever.
What's the problem?
On the website,
Uh-huh.
and it's been like this for years. At the bottom right hand corner, the logo for the website for the apparel is inverted. It's backwards, and it has been for a hot minute, and it bothers me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where?
So anyway, on the official website, it is still backwards. There's the 10 Baby Metal Budokan, the 1, the UK online store, the US online store, and then the inverted Baby Metal Fox BMD Fox Apparel.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
logo.
Yeah. So this is on.
Yes.
It's not on the BMD Fox Apparel site, but it's on the babymetal.com site.
Exactly.
That's weird. That's weird.
And I've sent messages, and I'm just like, please fix your logo. Like, that is so not. That is so not professional. Like,
Well, maybe
please.
it's deep and meaningful. Maybe this is it is communicating some secret.
How? How? Whatever. Anyway, but yes, back to the topic at hand because I keep sidetracking myself. But yeah, so the Coleman apparel stuff, totally left field, but kind of cool at the same time. So apparently, if anybody's not familiar with Coleman, they do a lot of like outdoor products and stuff of that nature.
Camping
Nature.
stuff, yeah.
So they have released some camping gear, which is Coleman's is actually a pretty high quality name brand.
They make good stuff.
Even in the U.S. or even like in the world, it's pretty well known. So they have a large tent that could fit up to 2 people.
Large in
they
quotation
have-
marks.
Actually, it is. They actually have one of those displayed at the museum, and they've taken pictures of it. I think it's actually quite large. I mean, it's not like stand above me large, but it's a decent
two-person
size.
tent?
Yeah, it's a nice size 2-person tent. So they've got the tent, and they've got 2 sets of different chairs, which they have different names for. They're folding chairs, essentially. There is a folding table, which is kind of cute, and I actually kind of want it, but I don't want to pay for the shipping. And then, like, the actual, which is weird, the most expensive item is actually a pulling wagon. So, which is, like I said, is a little weird that it's the most expensive item out of it. You'd think the tent would be, but no, apparently the wagon is. So yeah, it's got the BMD name on it. It says Baby Metal, BMD Fox Apparel on it, and Coleman. So if y'all want some camping gear with Baby Metal stuff on it, there you go. Or if you want a chair to sit out on and in the future when you're sitting in line waiting for 24 hours to get into a Baby Metal concert, there you go.
Yeah, actually,
Have at
that was kind of what I, when I saw this, what I thought was, line equipment, right? I mean, like this is like what you do when you're playing the, the whatever it is, the board game that you got, or dealing tarot cards or something.
Oh, and I actually did miss something. There is apparently a cooler too. So that's kind of neat.
I kind of wonder if anyone actually gets this and then takes it out into the woods, and
Right?
it just seemed like essentially the wagon is going to just primarily be people's merch holders, in their
Yeah.
living room or whatever.
Like I said, the only thing I would really actually like wholeheartedly consider would be the folding table. But
Yeah, I like that. I think it is cool, but yet I
not
can't
with
quite
Baby Metal
justify that.
stuff. Yeah. Like I would just get one over here if I really wanted one.
Yeah, I mean sometimes I do hear people, like looking at the like the pail or the whatever, the wagon or whatever, and saying, well, if I were to buy just the wagon, normally without a logo it would cost X, and here now with the logo it's costing X, times 2 or something. But we're not actually wagon shopping. Like if I were wagon shopping, this isn't the wagon I would get, right? I mean,
Right.
So it doesn't
Exactly.
make that much sense. It's like, all right, well,
No.
yeah, I'm not getting this for a wagon. I'm getting it for the logo.
Yep, pretty much.
But anyway, so that was a surprise and pretty strange. I'm not sure that I like the existence of BMD Fox apparel that much, though. Like, I feel sort of like I'm not quite. I don't know what I'm supporting when I'm supporting that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because perfume actually has a closet, what they call a closet, which is basically a secondary type store with different clothing, apparel, and stuff like that based on the girls. Which, if you're not familiar with perfume, they also have 3 ladies who dance in heels, who have released heels, special dance heels. But I assume they were trying to kind of base it around that originally. I don't know. But yeah, you're right. I don't know who I'm supporting in the regards of that. I mean, yeah, it says Baby Metal, but it's like,
Yeah, I think I might have actually preferred it if the logoing, the branding had been, just Baby Metal. That would be kind of like a cooler wagon.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, it is what it is. It's kind of cool. It's kind of funny, at least.
I guess it also depends on the way you take the word apparel. Because, if I think apparel, I think clothes myself. But apparel technically would also mean, I guess, items of living. I don't know.
Items of living.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is possible that they expanded their purview a little after their initial launch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. So the collaborations continue. There was a much more recently announced collaboration with ESP, the guitar manufacturers, and this time it isn't a guitar. I think ESP was the company that the prior collaborations were with.
Yeah, all of the prior guitars have all been ESP. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But now we have basically just accessories. So there's some 2 different kinds of straps. Guitar straps. There are picks, and there is a cleaning cloth. I didn't even know a cleaning cloth was a thing, but it is apparently a guitar thing.
Yeah. This is actually probably the cooler out of the random merch has been released lately. The straps, you don't necessarily have to use it for a guitar. You can use it for cameras or purses or, other things. And apparently ESP themselves also sells little attachments to put on the end, so that way you have other uses to use the strap for, and not just for a guitar, which I think is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're not that expensive to buy along with it. So if you think it's cool and you want to use it for something other than guitar, like for me, I don't play guitar, then you could probably get it. But yeah.
And the picks are pretty cheap, This is probably, really testing the theory of how much you pay in shipping versus the base cost of the item, because it would be like a little $2 item and then, whatever, $25 shipping.
Add it to your other things, essentially, as a bonus.
Okay, so the next thing I have on the list is that they've announced that they're reissuing almost all of the live things. That includes Legend M, which was sold out. So this is all the videos, basically. 9 general releases and 7 the one titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm slightly salty. Slightly. Only because I really went out of my way to get Legend M after it got sold out. Yeah, that's of my own doing. It's actually cheaper than the original release.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the original release was $220. This one was releasing at $150. It has it's the Blu-ray. It kind of is actually more set up like how the Sun Also Rises set that came out. It's kind of set up like that. So it has the Blu-ray, and I believe it has the audio the audio CDs as well. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't believe it has
Just no photo book.
Yeah, there's no photo book, but it does come with something extra, and I can't remember what the extra thing is.
Postcards.
Oh, is the postcards? Okay, so it does come with a little trinket to come, for the purchase. So, I mean, it's cool that it's getting re-released because, it was an awesome show. It was really fun. But at the same time, it's like, I could have bought it for cheaper.
Yeah, though I think they did the right thing in a way, based on almost exactly your situation. That when they re-released it in a sort of scaled back version, so you don't need to feel bad because you can't get the thing you have, right? I mean, and quite possibly the thing you wanted was the photo book anyway, right? So,
right.
And it's just generally more accessible at a lower price.
Yeah, exactly. Although, unfortunately, the 5 Fox Festival set is still $300 plus, and I still just want my Big Fox Festival disc.
Yeah, I wonder. That is interesting that they never broke those up, because I mean it's quite possible that everybody has that same kind of feeling, like if they could buy the Big Fox Festival separately, they would have done so.
Yeah. That was the only show that I went to was Big Fox Festival. That was my very first overseas show, and I still don't own it. And it makes me very, very sad. And paying $300 for 5 other shows that I didn't go to, which I'm sure are probably really entertaining, and I have seen bits and pieces of it, and I would actually really probably like to kind of own the Red Knight, basically the all-female one. That would be really cool. But all the other ones is kind of like, I wasn't there, I don't know. That's just because of my thought process. But yeah, Big Fox was the big show, and it's just, it's frustrating. Sorry, go ahead. I know I'm rambling.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's probably most people who buy these buy ones that they weren't at, but it still you kind of want the Big Fox Festival because also it was the last one that BABYMETAL was in, and that actually that may have been the thing that tipped me over to saying, like, I can't not own this, but it's at the same time, I mean, I didn't really need the other ones. So anyway, I don't think it ever sold out either. I mean, like, I think that's been on sale.
It's never
ever
sold
since.
out.
It doesn't include anything, except the Blu-rays and, like, I think an individual postcard on each one.
Yeah, that it does have the postcards in each one.
Oh yeah. So anyway, so the Legend M is actually going to be the sort of smaller size that the Sun Also Rises was. Is that right? I didn't quite understand that. Okay, I see. So not a pizza box type thing.
No,
right.
no.
Standard Blu-ray box.
Okay, so like the Dark Knight Carnival one too, I guess.
Yes.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So if you're a total completionist, then I suppose you need that too.
And actually, what's amusing is that it does actually say reissued edition on the front of it.
So that really is, it really is tweaking the collector's neurosis or whatever.
Yep.
Apparently the a world tour in Japan and the World Tour 2014 Apocalypse are not being reissued. I don't know why. I mean, maybe the World Tour in Japan one at least is that one's a little bit of a weird one because it's kind of like a compilation. Yeah. But I don't know why the Apocalypse one isn't, because that is one of the toughest ones to get, actually. Like, that costs a lot to get the real one.
That's the London one, right?
It's the one that has the like the little clips of Yui Banger and Moa Banger in it from the tour. It has a sort of extra disc in it. Oh, and so the ones that were the one only are still the one only. So they're being reissued, but you still have to be the one member in order to get those.
Right.
Xbook in chat mentions the Paris shows. That at least is going to be where one of those. I forget whose banger that was in Paris, but that was one of them. but I think there were others too. I mean, I think like Cologne or something, or like there's a. I don't
I think
think
one
both.
was Germany.
Yeah. So. Anyway, if you don't already own it, you can't get the reissue. Okay. Maybe we can move on from that. Well, what else? The tarot card sets are arriving. We've seen a bunch of tweets about that.
Yes, they're very pretty.
They're reflective or something, like, you know, like sometimes the photos can't quite do them justice, you know, because you have to be able to see them in motion. I found
Right.
there's an unboxing video. The person sort of waves them around so you can kind of see.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, let's see. Was anyone following Girls Planet 999?
Was being the operative word.
So yeah, I mean, I think Momoko's done, but I haven't been keeping up. That's
Yes.
as much as I know.
She is no longer a contestant. She was eliminated.
Okay.
Yep. She was, I think her group was it ended up being 18. And I know
She
that
missed
made,
it by like 1.
Oh no.
yeah. Yeah. And it made because each cell is what they called them. Each group had a girl from Korea, a girl from China, and a girl from Japan in it. And I know the whole entire like thing with her group was that the Korean girl was just like, let's do this, let's go, this is awesome, this is great. And the Chinese girl, albeit the sweetest little thing, but she was kind of falling behind a bit. And I know that the Korean girl was kind of getting upset with her, and Momoko was just kind of like, let's just go, we're cool, this is all great and everything. And I know that I can't remember what her name was, but basically the Chinese girl really apologized to the Korean girl once the eliminations happened, because she's like, I know it's my fault and I'm really sorry and everything. But it was kind of sad because she was, you know, heartfelt about it. And she's like, I know it was kind of me that brought us down and I'm so sorry and everything. But Momoko's blonde now.
Yeah.
She looks cute. I like it. It suits her. It's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I sort of find that it looks weird to me. I mean, I suppose it's just what I'm used to, and this isn't what I'm used to, and maybe it's fine, but I have yet to get used to it.
Aww.
And it may not actually last long.
She went all out to try and win over the Korean audience.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough, so... But yeah, she's no longer on there. So
nobody cares
basically.
anymore, like how the show ends.
Nope, pretty much. Nope. I
already unfollowed the socials I was following for that.
Delete the app.
Delete the app.
Yep, delete the app because, oh my gosh, that app was crazy.
That was
and
terrible.
You know what? And if it wasn't for the app, I probably would have voted a lot more. But that app was terrific. Not terrific.
Terrible.
Terrible.
The other T.
The other
Terrifying?
T. Terrifying. There we go. It wasn't terrifying. Actually, it was kind of easy to get around, but whenever you try to go vote, it would just crash. It would just shut off. And I'm just like, I just want to vote. Please let me vote. And there would be days where I was just like, I can't do this anymore, and I didn't vote. So I have a feeling like if that. It could be. It could very well be. I take the full entire blame. I'm so sorry. I'm not the app developer, but I'm so sorry. Anyway, but yeah, it did crash a ton, and I feel like if it didn't do that, like it wouldn't put off a lot of people, and she probably would have got more votes, and she probably would have made it. But you know, it is what it is. But so who knows what Momoko is going to be up to next? Dun dun dun. They had another, like, what was it, 0.1%, like, voting caption thing, and she actually won that, like, completely, like, 100%, like, over everybody, she won. And you got, like, a vitamin box or something. But when the vitamin box, vitamin boxes got, you know, given to the girls and they took the picture, that's when everyone realized that she had went completely blonde, so.
That was interesting. You know, it was a interesting thing to follow briefly. It's too bad she didn't get further, but
yeah, it's a shame. But like I said, I'm curious to see what happens afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that happened here in the periphery was the Sakura Gakuin concluded. So there was the final show, August 31st.
Why is that one? I immediately feel like I want to cry.
So Kevin, you did a sort of like a viewing party or something, right?
We did, yeah.
Did they actually stream it?
No.
I didn't think so. I thought
No,
that
we
was
watched-
the big stink of it.
Yeah, we watched last year's in real time.
Oh, so nobody has seen it apart from people who are physically there?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that I did not understand.
There is a the Amused YouTube channel uploaded like a little 1-minute video of it, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are doing the live viewing, like the movie theater Japan things for it.
Okay, cool. But and presumably they will then sell it if they haven't entirely removed them from Osmart.
Right.
Yeah, no, they'll definitely sell it.
One thing that happened as part of this, this is the closing of the entire operation, and so they had a board full of like signatures and little like short messages from all of the prior members, and I think everybody was represented, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So we have. I don't know if anyone else wants to sort of read through what we got. Like there are like five members that have Baby Metal connections that we have information from, including Yui.
Yeah, Yui. Well, obviously Yui, Moa, Sue, Momoko, and
Kano. Yeah,
Kano.
I have the translations as relayed by BabyMetalNews.com. But so Yui said, Sakura Gakuin shines dazzlingly within my heart, now and forever. Thank you. These messages are all sort of like that. Sue's is pretty funny. It's I'm glad I met everyone, which actually is a lyric from my graduation toss, but otherwise sounds a little distant. Moa says, Sakura Gakuin is the best. Thank you. I will never, ever forget you.
No.
Hers is the like most sort of effusive of these five. Kano says, forever strong and awesome. Thank you for your warmth. And Momoko says, thank you so much for always watching over us warmly as we grew up. Thank you very, very much.
No.
So.
That's cute.
Look at that. Getting close to an hour and we're almost done with the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the other two things are actually sort of minor. All the stuff that they released on vinyl, these Legends live vinyl sets will, so good thing about releasing it on vinyl, you get to hear the quality, the hisses and clicks and pops of vinyl, and to celebrate that, they are going to stream them also. So,
but only on Spotify, and I believe it's only in Japan.
Yeah, I think it's in Japan. I was just sort of marveling at the goofiness of of streaming the vinyl releases.
Yeah.
Since what was the point in the first place?
Well, that's going to put a lot of live shows on a streaming service that have not been on a streaming service before. I think is the point.
Yeah.
Not that it's a vinyl, because it's not going to be, they're not going to play the vinyl back and record the phono out and put it on Spotify. It's going to be whatever mix they printed to vinyl.
Right.
But the point is there's going to be a ton of shows available for streaming services that previously had not been.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
if
cool.
you're in Japan.
Yeah.
Correct. Though it's
Use
not
the
inconceivable
VPN.
that they won't change that in the future.
Yeah. I guess so the one note that I saw about this, which is a little bit surprising, is that it seems to be missing everything that is arguably a cover, including Kimito Anime ga Mitai.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. Surely they have the rights to it. So I don't know why. I think those are on the vinyls, though, right? I mean, like, I hope so, because that was kind of the point of getting a couple of these.
I don't actually know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be
I'm
pretty
trying to
sad.
think of what shows, because they performed the animation with you a few times, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also missing Chakotay Love and White Love and The Love Machine, and I am hoping those are represented on the vinyls, though, because that's what I mean. Like, that was kind of the point of getting those.
It might have possibly been just a streaming service thing. Maybe that was an issue with them for rights and stuff in that regard, but maybe they will be on the vinyls. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't be on
I don't
the
know.
vinyls.
I didn't get the vinyls for those songs. I got them because they're cool.
I know that some of them said, like, selected stuff from shows, da-da-da-da-da, but I hope they would include everything, that would be a bummer.
at any rate, Spotify is not going to have Chakotay Love, so which is a little bit sad. But okay, so there's that, and then the last thing, I know everybody's been desperately waiting for this, and it has finally arrived. There's a second round of NFTs.
I'll tell you how I feel about it.
So, in fact, actually, I looked at it only sort of briefly, but it looks like you can get, it's like the Blast one. You can get sort of a deluxe one that comes with a gold vinyl disc. I assume it's the same as the one that you would have gotten in the previous one.
10 BABYMETAL Budokan.
Oh, was it Budokan? Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay, so that for sure wasn't the previous one. So this is at least a different vinyl. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's definitely 100%. It's different.
Okay. Cool. So they can hang on to the claim of exclusivity on the previous one.
Yes.
And I mean, I think, it's a lot for a record, but you could still consider this to be buying the gold vinyl. It's $125, but these cards seem less interesting than the previous ones, but they're distributed, and it's funny. They're sort of like they're like trading cards, right? I mean, like they come, so you get a random assortment in a pack.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is, I don't like it. Again, it's one of those things where there's no guarantee what you're going to get. And then you'll have to spend more money to get what you want if you're that specific. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm used to random stuff.
I mean,
I know, but
having to buy 30 of a thing to get sure I get the 7 I want.
Yes, they say there are basically 3 categories of cards. There are common ones, of which they're making like 24,000. There are rare ones that they're making 2,700, and they're super rare ones that they're making 550 of. So, and you buy a jumble of random things, and
it's like opening a loot crate in a game.
Yeah, essentially.
It's sort of interesting in concept. I'm not tempted.
No, I'm not either. But
I'm not angry that it exists, but I don't think I want it.
Yeah, it's like, it's whatever. It's just another one of those things where it's like, don't need it. I have no desire for it, so I'm not going to spend the money on it. Money saved. Woohoo.
I mean, again, I would say the only thing that would draw me to it at all would be the gold record. I mean, like, that's the thing I would be buying if I were buying this, and this is the only way to get that. So
yeah.
Just so you know, those usually sound like poop. Colored records do not sound great.
Oh, really? I guess because of the material. I assume because of the material that's required to be in there. Is that the same with like picture vinyls and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If it's printed on, it's not going to sound as good.
Fair enough. Which makes sense that it does. So, because I have a picture vinyl that I'm just like, do I want to try to listen to it, or do I just want to hang on to it and put it in a frame, or do I want to sell it? So I'm just like, I don't know. It's Linkin Park's Minutes to Midnight, but in case anybody cared. But I'd always been kind of curious about that. So, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I don't actually even have a device to play these on, so I'm not even at risk of playing them.
Well, you can buy those really cool, like, because I've got one. I had one prior to moving. And unfortunately, I think sometime either during the move or I didn't know that it happened, but like it must have had some kind of electrical shock, so it didn't work correctly, like the speaker buzzed and it was just awful. But you can buy one of those like mixed ones where it's like a CD player, a cassette tape player, has a radio on it, and of course the vinyl player on it. And it's really not that expensive. I think the one that I got, it's like, it was like 150, I think. And it's really nice. Oh, and it connects Bluetooth as well, so you can play like music on your from your cell phone onto it through the speakers. And there's a headphone jack in it. I mean, you can obviously buy various like design types of it, but that's the one that I got. And it's nice. It plays vinyls pretty well. The last one I played was Scorpions. It was pretty cool. It was like, yeah.
Again, I do kind of wonder about like playing the nice analog vinyl, digitizing it so it can be sent over Bluetooth to your speaker. It's like, well, have we gained anything?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's actually like well, there's the ones where it's just like the recorder type Bluetooth ones. This one's not like that. Like it's straight up just playing straight from the vinyl player itself. Like it's got the thing and the other thing and all the other things. Because that makes sense. But yeah, so I don't know, but it's pretty cool.
The one thing about the like vinyl record players is that they do make contact. So when you play things, there's always a little bit of so like if you play it on kind of a crap record player, then it is gonna damage it a little bit.
It's gonna be crap. Yeah, because like I have one vinyl my mom got me for Christmas, which was kind of cool at the time, and then I get it out and apparently it already had a scratch on it. And so I can't listen to it, which really sucks because it's Daft Punk. Anyway, but I've been, like I said, recently been buying a lot of older vinyls and things, which the Scorpions one was one of them. And I bought like the Eagles and stuff. I like older stuff. And playing the Scorpions one, because it was an original vinyl, like you can see like the warp in it, which is kind of cool. And you can like hear some of like the pops and bangs and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. I mean, I can see the interest in it. I can see the interest in vinyl. Like I see it. I'm not going to try to be too into it, but it's neat.
It's a rabbit hole for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee. It's a very expensive one. It's like, oh, it'd be cool to get on vinyl. It's more expensive than getting it on CD. Okay.
Yeah, I think it always concerns me that there's physical contact being made, so I did look into it a little bit to see if it's possible, and it is possible to get something that is like a laser reader, so that doesn't actually touch the thing. But my goodness, are those expensive?
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, I have used records from the 70s that probably have tens of thousands of miles on them from being played over 40 years, and I wouldn't be worried about playing something brand new in your lifetime, having it distort or warp.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't, as long as you store it properly.
Yeah. It's not, I guess it wasn't as much about like distorting or warping as it was about, making it no longer new. So
even still, I don't think you'd notice the difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it is indeed possible to get a laser reader for record players, but they are like, I mean, I think 5 digits in US dollars.
Good
so
gracious.
It's kind of insane.
Sounds like it.
Okay, anyway, I think we have made it through the news.
Yes, we have. Woo-hoo.
And also through some digressions. All right, so anything else that we should speak of before we wrap up for today?
Other than the actual vinyls, the ones from the live series are going to be starting to release soonish.
Well, I've already got my first chunk of those in my Tenso.
Oh,
so
really?
Cool. Yeah, I should
Cool.
have those vinyls shortly.
I think mine's not coming out until October. I think Big Fox, or maybe it's the end of the month. I'll have to look again because I can't remember. But I'm super excited for my Big Fox Festival one.
Yeah, on the Big Metal news site, it was suggested that they're actually sort of being released in eras, which makes sense. I just hadn't noticed it. But so August 25th is Works of Metal Resistance chapters 1 to 2. September 8th is chapters 3 to 7, and September 22nd is chapters 8 to 9. Okay. So the ones that would have hit Tenso already are Legend IDZ 9997, Budokan Red, and Live in London.
Okay. So mine should be next.
This is the set that either does or does not include the covers, right? So people who have received them already will know.
Fair enough.
Because I don't think there are any covers in anything else. So
yeah. Other than that, 10 Baby Metal years is coming up to an end almost.
We are recording this on 9/9, and it's all over on 10/10. So a month.
Yep.
See you on 10/11.
Yep.
Yep.
For the unsealing.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I guess we'll speculate more about that later.
Only the fox god knows.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Then that's it for this episode. You can join us on the Baby Metal Podcast Discord to continue the conversation. Rating the podcast on whatever platform you listen on will help people find it, so please do that. We'll be back in about 2 weeks or so. We hope you'll join us then, and until then, see you.